What we're going to be doing is, we left off with working on the GT6. Here she sats, and she sits in here. Last time we checked, I'm pretty sure we got everything done with like the radiator and stuff like that. I've had to move it a couple times to do a couple of other things in here as well, and do some measurements. But we need to figure out why we're leaking coolant, because if you remember correctly, that the water pump was taken off and replaced with the gasket because it was leaking before, and it drove me a little nuts. So now we gotta figure out where it's coming from and why, so we can get that replaced. So first thing is, let's get this hood unlocked here, and let's get it open here. All right, fun stuff, because right down there, if you can tell, there's water, coolant already looked. Oh, not very fun. And if you tell over here, we've got water coolant on the floor. So we gotta figure out where it's coming from, which is just asinine, because got a couple other things we're gonna do too. This fan that's in here, it's gonna go bye-bye, because we're going to put an electric fan in there. These horns, they're going to go. All this wiring mess that's up here, it's going to go too. So it's just going to go. So I'm going to start this, let it run for a little bit, get it warmed up, and see where this leak's coming from, and we're basically going to go from there. Hopefully it's something easy. I mean, I still got to pull this radiator off to get to that fan, because there ain't a lot of room there in between the fan and the radiator. So we're gonna pull that fan off too as well, but hopefully not today. Maybe this video as well, but we gotta figure out where this leak's coming from as well. Well, we are in the car. You haven't noticed, but I put one seat in when we test drove it the last video. Other than that, we did. So let's turn this choke on. Oh no, I think we have a dead battery. All right, well, we got the battery charged up to a point where we can get this thing to start. So let's see if it'll start. Here goes nothing. Ready? Cold start. Whoa, every time. So as we're sitting here working on this thing, she decides to come home. The garage is closed. Guess what?
It snowed.
It snowed, but it snowed. I mean,
and the people that freaking plowed the yard
pushed all the snow against our door. Look at that. I didn't even hear it because I had music going, so she came knocking on the door. But we have 6 inches of freaking snow,
and the garage is slightly flooded.
Yeah, and we're a little flooded. Didn't know that either. I was just out working on my own shit, not paying attention. So that's what I've been with the door shut. It snowed. So we figured out where the leak's coming from. It's coming back behind the water pump housing. So we actually got to take that off instead of the water pump itself. So the only way to do that, according to the book, is we got to remove the radiator and a bunch of other stuff to get in there, which will be fun. I want to do it. But we got to take it off anyway, because we'll be replacing that fan, because the electric fan will work better anyway. Well, you can probably hear it's better, but we got the radiator out. Well, she's loosening the alternator belt. Actually, excuse me, fan belt. That's sitting there. I'm going to be working on trying to get this stupid water pump stuff off. But we got to get the belt out. Plus, we're also going to remove this plastic fan that's hooked up to the crank housing, because we don't need it for anything. We're going to put an electric fan in. So, because the thing's just annoying and don't need it. Plastic anyway. Pick up a rock. There goes the blades. Now, we're just going to get rid of it. Well, got the water pump off, and we've been cleaning up down here. It's a little dirty, so we're actually going to clean this up, all that grease and everything. Got our trusty steamer warming up. She's been working on cleaning these up with a wire brush, making those look a little better. We need to blow some stuff off, but yeah, get a little dirty. Here's the water pump. We're going to try and get this nut and bolt out there stuck as it was last time, so we can actually do it a little easier. Mind the heater. Ugh. but we're just gonna do a little cleaning, a little bit of cleaning up work. So I'll put everything back together. Well, while we're sitting here waiting, we decided to go through all this electrical wiring mess that was sitting here with all these headlights. Oh my gosh. I wonder why the headlights and turn signals weren't working. I mean, this was underneath a bunch of electrical tape. So was that one. This one over here is split.
On two wires.
On 2 wires on that one. This one was like 40 miles of cable. That's not what we took off, but this is the wiring that we took off that was not doing any good for anything.
Not to mention the horn wire that's on the front.
And there's a horn wire that, because we're not using the horn, because we're doing something different, there's one part of the horn wiring, because we're going to rewire that, something different. There's just 3 grounds. I don't know what they were thinking when they rewired this or whoever did that mess, but we just went through it on the last hour trying to figure everything out, which was a pain.
It's interesting to see that.
But now I got to get a couple of supplies so we can actually fix the headlights, right? Because it was really weird. Because think about this: the right headlight was grounded here with a ground tab. This one was grounded through the harness itself through the car, but wasn't working. Yeah, it's been fun. So now we gotta get some supplies or some other stuff so we can actually get this wiring mess straightened out and actually make it look better than what it was.
Make it actually work right?
Yeah, too. As a mess. We're gonna go do that though. We haven't left anywhere yet. We were trying to figure out how many more parts we need, but figured out the electrical issue. We also figured out that the turn signals weren't working because I think the flasher is garbage. And meanwhile, I'm digging underneath the dash for half an hour trying to figure out where it is. It's fucking right here in the engine bay. Good place for it.
Thank you, Google.
And then we figured out the heater actually works. Couldn't figure out why that wasn't working.
After tearing it apart?
Pull the knob. It says pull to turn on. I'm just sliding it back and forth. Anyway, I didn't know either, but whatever. So we're gonna go do some errands, get some parts, all that fun crap, get some food, and may come back out here and work on this tonight. But this wiring mess, this is gonna take a good another hour or more, because we're gonna probably redo all this here, so it's all one nice little taped up new wire tuck. Because yeah, it's a mess.
Couldn't we get the shrink wrap stuff?
Nope.
Heat
Shrink wrap stuff. I don't know what you look, but it's just easier to get like a plastic wrap and it goes around it and.
Yeah, no, that would work too.
That stuff, but we can look into it. We're gonna look into some stuff anyway and make this wiring look tucky, pretty, out of the way. Possibly look into a horn for it too. So.
Air horn.
Anyway, that's what we're gonna do. All right, guys. Well, we are back. We went to the store and got some supplies for our rewiring of this mess, like shrink wrap, a couple of butt connectors, some other connectors and things like that, so we can get this wiring for the headlights all set back up. We did get a flasher. Checked it out. We put it in here where the other one was supposed to go. That didn't work. Flasher still didn't work. Tracing it down. Those are for the emergency flashers. Did some research. Some people said in my group that flashers behind the glove box. Well, there's the glove box. We checked it out. There's nothing under the glove box. Battery, maybe some carpet that got folded down that needs to be, well, taken out because we're getting new carpet anyway. But pulled the dash back out. Trying to figure it out. Looking for green and brown wiring, things like that. I'm looking over here. Look over here. I look up there. Thought that was it. There's a green wiring, brown and purple. Well, there's 2 purples. Plugged that. Plugged in the flasher that we bought. The new one here that we bought. Plugged in there. Nothing. Still just lit up, no flash. I'm sitting here and turn the flasher on again, and I heard a dink dink. It was the fate dink dink from the flasher relay. I'm like, what the heck? So I started tracking it down. I finally tracked it down. Put my hand behind this part because this is more work to take this apart with more bolts. Put my hand behind here, and I could feel it clicking. I'm like, what? So I looked back there with the light, and sure enough, here it is. This is the original one. It says signal stat red on it. And I'm like, no way. So we turned on the flasher. it blinks. Problem is if we move it though, this one's all worn out. So we're just gonna put the one that we bought in there, stick it back in there, tuck it all away, and I'll buy another one for, like right now. See, it's blinking, but it just shut off. It won't stay on, but yeah, we're just gonna see. It's on. It shows right there. You just stopped the flasher light. It's not blinking, so that flasher relay's toast. So we're just gonna replace it with this new one that we got for all that work, tearing the stash apart and tracking wiring. I hate wire tracing. Ah. Oh, all right. So since we got the dash all back together, make sure I move my lights on die. We're gonna get working on this. We're gonna finish stripping down. We're gonna finish stripping this down so we can tuck away a couple of these wires that I know we'll be using, like this one. I have no idea what this one goes to yet, so we're just gonna tuck it away. I have an idea probably where it goes, but we'll see. It's kind of weird, but gosh dang, we got a lot of wiring here to do. A lot. Kind of sucks, but we're gonna get it done because everything, when we were out here earlier, we marked everything. You know, this is the headlamp, this is marker lights. You know, we pretty much marked everything out on these little like blue tabs. You know, they're just sitting here like this is marker lights, so we gotta figure out what we're doing with everything with those.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me, cause she got a bad little waist. And we tearing down this place, off the liquor that we chase. Got some egos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on that tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine. Got a fine little body and her mind's kinda naughty. They say that once you taste it, you cannot replace it. She could get you high, all the dopamine inside triggers fast once she's naked. Her body's a creation. They say the devil made her for his entertainment, but even he couldn't learn how to contain it. Her high heels make a damn good statement. There is no replacement, a body by Satan. Cause she got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place, off the liquor that we chase. Got some egos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on a tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine.
Give you guys a little update. Here's all the wiring. It is all done. That's pretty much where it's gonna lay. I just got finished up doing some shrink wrapping stuff, and it's all done. It's all done. Oh, yeah, figured that we'd rather do the wiring job, get that done while the radiator wasn't in there. With everything, because it is kind of in the way, but other than that, God, there's a lot of wiring. Now we just gotta finish shrink wrapping the stuff, get it tucked away, and make it look good. So, dang, it's been a lot of work, but it's been about 3 hours out here now so far doing that. Oh, yeah. Let's get this all wrapped up, and God, let's get this wiring harness done so we can get the rest of this done. Well, we are all done. There's everything that comes out of the firewall. It runs down, splits off there. It's all wrapped up too, nice and neat. Comes down here, splits off with some grounds right there. These two are just for the horn. Then we'll get that taken care of in a little bit. It runs over, splits out that way, goes over to those marker lights and turn signals, and then there's the headlight wiring. And they're all set up over there. So that's been a fun project for the last 3 hours, 4 hours. I hate wiring. Anyway, meanwhile, we're just waiting on stuff for the water pump and a couple other things we've ordered. They should be here hopefully tomorrow. Other than that, that's pretty much what we're waiting on, because we had an issue with that leak. If you guys can't remember, earlier in the video where it was leaking, but we had to order parts and they won't be in for this video. But it is what it is with the shipping delaying of everything right now. But I'm gonna get those in, get done, and hopefully we can get this running soon. Hopefully in the next couple weeks, at least back in a row, because we got tires and everything else on it too. From the previous video you guys saw, those got mounted and it looked pretty good. So subscribe for more. Leave us a comment, share it, follow us on all the social medias, and we'll talk to you guys a little later.